Yeah, let's get it. Yeah. What up, what up, what up? What's going on, good people? It's your boy, Coach Dre Blast, coming at you with this free masterclass. I hope everybody's doing well out there and doing outstanding. I appreciate all you guys and chiming in on time, being here, get this incredible information. Shout out to all the different states and cities that are here, man. We got North Carolina just chimed in the building. I'm definitely excited to have you guys here. And first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to respond to my LinkedIn and joining this masterclass. It's always exciting for us as a people, to learn something new, to go to new places, and just to be more incredible at what we do. And that's some of the things that we're going to talk about today. We're gonna hop into this real good. So yeah, everybody make sure you put in the chat where you're from. This is a mini networking event, and since we got so many different states and cities represented here, and a couple of countries from what I'm hearing, put in the chat your business, your links. If you have a business, if you don't, it's okay. Contact information is good, because see, we're going to build a huge network. We're going to be able to once again rebuild Black Wall Street like they had in Tulsa, right? Getting an opportunity to really bring that back to the forefront and bringing our people together. So I'm excited, and I'm not going to prolong getting more time. We're gonna hop into this. Give me 1 second. I'm still admitting people to come in. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right, hold on 1 second. Cool. So welcome to the masterclass. I'm excited to be here exclusively for our people. My moniker is Health and Wealth is the freedom and future of our people. And who are our people? My people, that's you. So in the next 45 minutes, you're going to discover how to achieve anything and live a purpose-driven life without compromising your time, health, and money. And I know somebody in here falls in one of those categories of, time, health, or money. Time is one of those commodities that we can never get back, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. So we've got to be better proponents of taking care of that time, our health. What is the biggest point of having millions and billions of dollars if you don't have your health to enjoy it, right? I always go back to Steve Jobs, over at Apple when, he passed away. There's a story about him where he talks about, with all this money, he still couldn't cure his sickness and he passed away, right? And then, of course, a little bit about the money. So I'm definitely going to be diving in. So for everybody that's on here, make sure you take out your note-taking devices, whether you write stuff down or whether you jot it down on your Google Docs. Excuse me. Whatever it is that you do, make sure you take care of that. So, and make sure you stay all the way to the end, man, because I got an incredible bonus, for you guys coming in here today and attending today to this, an incredible offer that's really going to blow your mind. So, by a show of hands, you can put it in the chat, or you can put it depending on, if you're in the video or not. How many of you here are a leader that's looking to achieve more out of life? I know I am. That's why I take these classes. Good. That's amazing. So how many of you here Want to inspire others by knowing your purpose and becoming a person of influence. I know it was one of the things why I wanted to join. Exactly. So that means this masterclass is perfect for you because the principles that I'm going to share with you today are something you can immediately implement to make a big difference in your career, business, and even in your personal life. See, I am a life and business coach. And what's great about that is that I have the tools in the business realm, but I'm one of those people that understand that there's a fine line between, love and hate. That's what I call business and relationships, right? Relationships is love, business is hate. Oftentimes we don't know how to blend the two, and that's because we don't start with our mind and start with our own purpose inside of us, right? So before anything else, again, I'd like to thank you for investing your time, your energy for your personal growth, for you to be here today. And I promise I will do everything in my power to make this masterclass worth your time. And just to set some expectations before we get this class started, the masterclass and the principles I'll be sharing with you today are not just something that I've implemented with my clients in the past few years in the coaching realm, but also something that I've implemented myself. So I definitely practice what I preach. And since we will be spending almost, 45 minutes to an hour together, I'd like to introduce myself real quick. Is that okay? Everybody cool with that? Perfect. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this screen share on. Excellent. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we do got some live people out there. Exciting. Hold on 1 second. Don't you just love technology? It does what it wants to, right? Excellent. So we're going to hop into this information. So we're going to start with what I like to call the recipe: achieve anything and live life with purpose. I know oftentimes we go through life and we think that our achievements are minimal and it doesn't really make a huge difference or a significant difference in what we do in life. And that's just not the case. It's just not true. See, everything that we do definitely has a purpose. And see, some of us aren't living our purpose. Some of us are just going to our jobs. Some of us are just living day by day, doing what we're good at, but not really diving into what our purpose is, right? And so I'm going to share with you some things that's going to help you not only achieve whatever it is that you're looking for in life, because, the good book tells you, ask and ye shall receive, right? Seeking ye shall find, knocking to be open unto you. And many of you on this phone are not knocking, seeking, and achieving because you choose not to. See, it's all mental. And so we're going to talk about living with purpose. And let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm going to be your chef motivator for today. I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, home of bourbon, bluegrass, and horses. But I reside here in the great state of Texas, where the stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas. We love it around here. We are our own country sometimes. So, but with me, my background, I got 25 years experience in the hospitality industry, from food, front of the house, everything that you can think of in the food industry. I'm also a chef, coach, speaker, owner, entrepreneur, and venture capitalist. I have quite a few other businesses that I've invested in that are building. One of the ones I'm talking about a little bit later when I get into my nonprofit. But I had an incredible opportunity to really have a lot of growth and be able to really build in some incredible areas. I'm chef owner of Heavenly Catering International LLC, located in Dallas, Texas, where we cater all over the Metroplex in the entire state of Texas. I had that business very profitable for the last 12 years, and it's been, an amazing and joyful ride. So I'm also a certified coach with Extreme Execution. If you guys know anything about Extreme Execution, then that's Dr. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. He is one of my mentors, and he is the one that has guided me into taking on this wonderful task of helping my people achieve that health and wealth that they so desire. For my culinary background, I started off as a cook one or sous chef at Walt Disney World in Orlando. I saw Orlando chime in the chat. Shout out to you. I love Disney. I loved Orlando when I stayed there. I lived there for a year or two. It was absolutely exciting. I worked at the Grand Floridian Hotel and Resort, the #1 in all of Disney. So I'm definitely pleased and excited to always say that. Executive chef for Dr. Pepper, American Airlines, Aramark. I've been district manager, in the fast food realm. There's pretty much, I think the only thing that I haven't done is cruise ships, and maybe R&D kitchens, but definitely very, very well versed. You can also look me up. I'm a competition chef. I've been a 2-time world food champ, 2-time Texas super chef. And both of those are just accolades to know that, I have mastered my craft enough to compete with, people from all over the world. The World Food Championships is here in Dallas for the next 2 years. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check it out, I believe it's in November 12th through the 20th, something like that. But you can look it up at worldfoodchampionship.com, and you'll see that, for the last 2 years, I've been in the top. I've been afforded to travel and compete against chefs from all over the world. And I get to keep that name of a world food champ. One of the things that's near and dear to my heart is my nonprofit. I'm the CEO of a Soar Hospitality and Travel LLC. It is a nonprofit charter school to help kids to learn about hospitality and travel, inner city youth specifically. I grew up in a program for hospitality and travel and tourism back in my hometown of Louisville. And, it was in one of the poorest neighborhoods, and we probably had the worst performer in high school. But there's been so many great things that came out of that program, because I got an opportunity to go to Barbados, Jamaica, cruise ships, Los Angeles, New York. I got to travel international with this program. And I said, whenever I get to that point where I can pay it forward, I'm going to do it. And so me and 7 other board members are paying it forward. We just had a very successful pilot class that we launched, teaching kids about business and entrepreneurship. You can check that out on my YouTube, Facebook page, all over social media. Man, it was an incredible time. 10 kids from all over the nation, man. It was impressive. Very, 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 very impressive. And then I'm a president of Old School to New School. Old School to New School is a nonprofit that is focused on foster kids that are phasing out once they hit 18. Most of the time they end up homeless, and they don't have anywhere to go, especially if they don't get adopted. So with that nonprofit, we help kids get employment. We help them find housing and also education. With our Kinza Institute, our school here in Lancaster, Texas is called the Kinza Institute, and we have 5 disciplines there, which is culinary, automotive, medical assisting, construction, and HVAC. And so these kids get to go to school for free, coming out of the foster care system, and be able to have education as a trade school and an apprenticeship, so that they can command, high dollar once they come out into the field. And then also I'm a board chair member with BCA Global. It's the Black Culinary Alliance. And with the Black Culinary Alliance is it's a cohort for race, food, and social justice. 100% of people eat. So, and whoever controls the food system controls the people. And so our strong point in being advocate is helping people to have mindful eating for the beloved community. As Brother Martin Luther King said in one of his speeches back in the day, the beloved community, all of us being together. And as you can see, I've been featured on, different news shows, newscasts, things like that. So I'm just excited to be here, just to give you a little bit more about me, so you'll know at least who your chef motivator is going to be for today. All right. All right. So let's get into the content, the ingredients, creating your super dish, right? So I call it the recipe because it references back to the DISC assessment, if you've ever heard of that. Knowing what your personality is, how to communicate with each other, how to communicate with others, and how people need to communicate with you. And so in creating your super dish, we go through a small assessment of what are your ingredients to make you who you are, right? And so what I usually do from that is I pull out some information to let people know who they are, how they operate, and how they can take it to the next level, so we can open up what their super dish is, or their superpower, if you've ever heard that before. So we're going to hop right into it. And these principles that I'm going to share with you is something you can implement today Only if you change and decide with your mind. All right. So, chef's recipe. Here's the master. Success is imminent. The first one is discipline. Okay. Second one is consistency. Third one is applied knowledge. Applied knowledge is important. And the fourth one is skill. Can everybody hear me okay? Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we're going to hop into this first one, discipline, which is my personal favorite, is why I put that first on the list. As you can see, Morgan Freeman is over there talking about, self-control is strength, calmness is mastery. You have to get to a point where your mood doesn't shift based on the insignificant actions of someone else. Don't allow others to control the direction of your life. Don't allow your emotions to overpower your intelligence. And that's a small snippet into discipline. Now, discipline is defined as the practice of training people to follow a code of behavior and learn to not fall away from it, a routine that rarely changes. And an example I like to tell people is being disciplined on a regular basis kind of goes back to, the toothbrush analogy. They say, you brush your teeth twice a day, at least after every meal, and floss, and it'll help keep your dentist bill reduced, right? And many people take that for granted, but if you're disciplined enough not to brush your teeth, you can be disciplined enough to brush your teeth. And you follow those routines on a regular basis because you know the results, right? And you're disciplined enough to get up and, make up your bed, fold up your clothes when you wash clothes. You're disciplined enough to show up to your job on time, to show up in your business on time, to make the phone calls that's necessary, right? And a lot of times people take discipline for granted because, especially I know small business owners and entrepreneurs, when they're first starting out, they always think that they have more time because they no longer have a boss, right? And it's actually quite contrary. In the beginning, you have to put that grind in and be disciplined enough to build your business up to 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, so that you can do other avenues and actually be able to branch out and do other things. So it's critically important that this discipline is a practice that you can implement now, because you can always find what a part of discipline what part of your discipline that you do is bad discipline. Everybody knows, you got bad eating habits, or if you've got bad, hygiene habits, what those are. You definitely got to be efficient and pay attention to that so that you can be disciplined in all areas, because I've learned it's the little things that make the big things important, not the big things, not getting the big check, not landing the client that's going to pay you $1 million. See, it's a little bit of training that you've done up to that point that got you to be able to close that client for it. Cool. So chef is in the cooking class. All right. So consistency, principle number 2, is better than rare moments of greatness, right? Consistency is described conformity in the application of something, typically that which is necessary for the sake of logic, accuracy, or fairness. And I know people's like, man, that sounds very, direct and intelligent. All it's saying is doing the same thing over and over again and getting that result. Insanity is the exact opposite of that, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. See, consistency, you're expecting that same result. You go to the gym every day and you do 50 squats. You do 50 squats for a month, you're going to see a significant change and be consistent. But then don't do the 50 squats for a month. You're going to see it's going to revert back to where you were originally. In cooking, that is so key. I know many of you have favorite restaurants that you go to, and most of the time you go not only because of the presentation and maybe even the atmosphere, but you love the consistency of the product. You enjoy the fact that it continues to come out the same every single time. No matter who's on shift, no matter who's doing what, every single time. So that consistency is the one that people typically don't do like they need to. Most of the time, they fall short. They won't be consistent because they think that it's unnecessary. But think about what you're consistent in. You consistently go to bed at night, right? Some of you might be night owls and stay up a little bit longer, but you consistently go to bed at night. You consistently get up till the good Lord decides to call you home. You have to be able to do that just for accuracy and fairness. It's a necessity. All right, we're going to move right along, get to number 3. Albert Einstein said, the only source of knowledge is experience. And I tend to agree with him because oftentimes we've been taught that knowledge is power. And I was talking about a great man one time. He said, applied knowledge is power. He said, you can know a whole lot of information, but if you don't apply it, that information only helps no one. I'm going to say that again. If you don't apply knowledge, that information helps no one. So is it truly power? Right? I know how to do calculus and trigonometry. I haven't used it since college, back in the day, you know, but I have the knowledge. Now, if I get a chance to use it, it becomes powerful. If not, it's just additional information that I could write down on paper, you know, to impress somebody if I wanted to. But I don't, because it's not something that I use on a daily basis. So knowledge applied, facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education. Awareness of familiarity gained by experience of a fact or situation. Okay? So the knowledge that you have right now, if you take it and apply it in such a manner that you could see significant change immediately. Many of us have degrees, many of us don't. Many of us have been to school, you know, many of us finished school, some of us may not. None of that matters, because the experience that you've gained over the last 5, 10, 15 years, over the last 30 days is monumental for the change that you need for you. It's critically important that you take that knowledge and you apply it. Don't just use it to sit on it, because, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. I know for us as a chef in the kitchen, you know, if you're not cooking and blinging it out on a regular basis, man, you'll keep some of those basic fundamentals, but man, your growth is going to lag. It's going to calm down. So you definitely take that knowledge and apply it. It's important. That's principle number 3. The last principle. And of course, you know, I had to throw my hometown favorite, Muhammad Ali, you know, Mr. Man himself, champions, because that's what you are made from something they have deep inside them, a desire, a dream, a vision. They have to have the skill and the will, but the will must be stronger than the skill. And what I've learned from that is, he also said something about working out. He said, you truly don't work out, and it's not true workout for him until he starts feeling the pain. That's when it becomes real. He says he goes to about 50 to 60 sit-ups, you know, in his day. And he said that's when the workout actually starts, when you feel the pain and be able to push through it, right? So skill, the ability to do something well, expertise, applied will. And see, everybody here has applied will. Everybody here has a skill set that is needed for somebody. I got a great fellow coach by the name of Kelly. Kelly puts it like this. She said, your voice needs to be heard, okay? And oftentimes people won't speak up and won't say anything if they have the knowledge, the skill, the background, because they feel as if they're inferior. Sometimes it's fear, nervousness, things of that nature. See, you don't have to influence the world, but you can influence your world. I'm saying that again. You don't have to influence the world, but you can influence your world. See, the 5 people closest to you could have significant change if you would speak to them with the skill that you have and the knowledge that you've applied. So you could change. I know many of you on the phone may be dealing with, you know, some financial issues, or dealing with spiritual issues or personal issues, or, you know, things on your job. You've got a crazy boss. We just came out of a pandemic. A lot of entrepreneurs didn't make it all the way through. But see, your skill is what makes you persevere. Because you take your knowledge, you apply it, and you apply it over and over and over again, and your skill only gets better. I was talking to a group of people today, and they were talking about, one of the guys was feeling kind of bad about himself because he didn't think he was as good as the teacher or the master. And I told him, I said, a true master will tell you that he's always a student. A true master of anything will always tell you they're always a student, because there's always something more to learn. There's always another level to go to. There's always another place for you to get better. So The 4 simple ingredients to this recipe to achieving and finding your purpose is discipline, consistency, knowledge, and skill. Because with those 4 elements, when you put all of those together on a regular and daily basis, now I don't push my religion on anybody, but the God I serve has been blessing me with me applying this on my daily life to know what my purpose is and what my voice is, right? Now, this isn't a how-to session. This is a what it is session, right? And so what you have to do is figure out in you what it is that you lack in and focus on building that up. Right? If you're trying to build a big team and you're not you're an introvert, you need to find somebody in you, at least one person that's an extrovert. You know, if you're trying to take your business to another level, you don't understand social media, marketing, etc., find you somebody that does. There's plenty of people that's out there doing it that will give you the information, some for free and some are going to charge. It's just how it is, but you got to get out there and do it. And one of the biggest things, especially in our community and our people, is that we're afraid to fail, right? For failure is the goal to success. Now, failure is an option. It's not the only option. So you can't stay in your failure. You can't stay down. You can't stay complacent when you make a mistake. See, we've been trained in the school system, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about. In the school system, when the General Education Board in 1906 created the system, they created it to produce workers, not entrepreneurs, not people that think on their own, not people that create buildings. They conformed it to help feed the employment world. And I just want you to think about this. Everybody here has probably been to school in one shape, form, or fashion. Elementary school, you gotta, I know for me, we went to school at about 7:30, school started at about 8, and we were done at 3. Middle school started at 8:30, we were done at 3:30. High school started at 9. Well, actually, our school started at 7, but most schools like here in Texas start at 9 and they're out at 4 o'clock. So does anybody see a pattern? What do they talk about after college? Go to college, get a degree so you can what? Get a good job and work a 9 to 5. They've been training us from the beginning to do that. From elementary school, get up early in the morning, get dressed, be at school by 7:30, 8 o'clock, you know, do it in middle school, do it again in high school. Then they show us that there's a bit of freedom once you get to college because you get to pick your schedule, right? But just to do that, to go get a 9 to 5. See, we got to get to the point where we apply what we've learned over these years to building our own. Or if you're in a great company, because success isn't defined by, you know, how much money you have or what business you own. Success is defined by the happiness and where you are, right? Some people love their jobs. How can you be better at your job? Applying these 4 skills. How can you get that next promotion? Applying these 4 skills. How can you get those business partners you need in entrepreneurship? Applying these 4 principles to your daily life. So I'm excited to always share that with you. You know, I'm straight to the point. You know, I'm direct. I'm, you know, in your face. I have a lot of fun in doing this. So just to wrap up real quick, I'd like for everybody to put in the chat, and I'm gonna give you guys a few moments to do this, an aha moment that you got from this masterclass. I know you're thinking most masterclasses longer and talk more. No, I am direct to the point. We're gonna have some fun, and plus, I'm very conscious of people's time. You know, I like to keep the confines between 45 minutes and an hour, you know, in case there's anybody that wants a little bit more information at the end. But put in the chat one aha moment that you got from today's class, because there's more to come. You haven't even touched the surface, because see, people have paid me thousands of dollars to do this, and I do it for free because I understand that, you know, when I first started, you know, money was a motivating factor because I was a father of 5. Right. So it's important to have that income and cash flow. But now I've gotten to the point that, you know, money is important, but it's not as important as freeing my people and giving out this free information. That's something that Dr. Eric Thomas taught me. You know, I've been following him since 2008. He gave out free content for so long. And I was like, who am I to be any better than him? You know, this guy's a millionaire. And why not put the content out for free and give people the option? Right? Applied will. I'm gonna look in this chat real quick. Great information. Consistency.
Hello, it's Elisa. Can I just tell me what I want to say?
Hold on 1 second, Elisa. Hold on 1 second. Elisa over at Elevation. Elisa, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Sure. You know what? I normally don't do this, but you know what? Let's try
I can
something
follow
different.
directions and put it in the chat.
You know what, Elisa, go right ahead.
I've been typing my right hand.
Elisa, you
I'll
know
put
what?
it in
Go
the
right
chat
ahead.
and follow directions. No problem.
You know what? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Sometimes you got to be willing to be flexible, but then in addition to that, you also got to be willing to be disciplined. See, that was a discipline. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna follow the directions. Something as simple as that could change your entire day. You know, and I was open to letting her come in. You know, but it's critical that us as a people implement this. Because a lot of times we get that stigma that we don't know how to work together. We don't know how to follow directions. And, you know, Black women are, you know, very astute and they're difficult. No, none of that is true. It's the other people not knowing how to communicate. And see, that's what comes part of the extended masterclass and part of the program that I put together to help our people get through this, right? Because we can work together. We can be great. I have 4 or 5 different businesses with over 30 plus African Americans working together with no problem at all. But often I hear that stigma that we just can't do it. And see, we have strong buying power. There's nothing that we can't do. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I see a couple of, let's see who else put something in the chat. Don't allow my emotions to overpower my intelligence. All right, Brandy, well, come with it then. Come with it then. Elisa, goal setting, that's important. I'm big on the youth programs. My goal is to help 1,000 by 2022. You know what? Let's help do that together. I have over 1,400 kids just in the Metroplex that are coming out of the foster care system on a regular basis. See, making these connections can make that happen. You know, school teachers are 9 to 5 instead of entrepreneurship. That's 100% true. Go ahead, Racinda. Boy, I'm telling you, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. All right, so we're gonna move right along into what I talked to you about earlier about the special offer that I had from the beginning. Okay, so I have a training course, and let me make sure I share this. What's next? The offer, extreme execution, Coach Andre Blasingame. So we have a comprehensive coaching program to help clients definitely build on themselves. The first thing we do is do the ingredients analysis. I like to call it the dish preparation, referencing the DISC assessment. Learning what your super dish is, what your power and your ingredients is to unlock your purpose. It's going to help you to know how to communicate with people, how people need to communicate with you, how to take your business to the next level, add to the profit line, and help people in the process and be incredibly great at what you do. Everything that you learn today goes to a next level, because in this one, we talk about the 3 elements to really recommit, refocus, and reduce your stress, right? Because a lot of times we put ourselves under a lot of stress unnecessarily when we can definitely overcome those things. So with the ingredients analysis, we get to know what ingredients makes you, you. Then the second part of it is the super dish assessment. That's cooking your dish. I'm a chef, so all my references have to do with putting dishes together. If you know anything about food, food is incredible once you put it together and you got the right ingredients. So the full super dish assessment is about a 22-page assessment that goes through deep areas of you and who you are, going more deeper into your discipline areas, your consistency areas, areas that you falter in, areas that you lack in, areas that you need more help in, and being able to grow and go. Those things are extremely important to put your super dish together. And then the third part is there's a 1-hour webinar that talks about how to present your dish. Once you get all your ingredients together, you put it together, as you can see the chef in the background getting pictures to be able to present your dish. Most people eat with their eyes, right? So you have to be able to see and envision what to do with your ingredients to make it profitable for you. Find what your passion is and your purpose. Because I will tell you, a few years ago, when I really found what my purpose was to help my people achieve health and wealth, I went on a journey. I was a diabetic, type 2 diabetic, and had to take, oh my God, a truckload. In the older realms, they call it the sugars, right? So, and when I got diagnosed with it, for my entire life, I had not had any issues. I hadn't been in the emergency room for the last 40, 45 years. I hadn't, there was no issues. And then all of a sudden, boom, I got sick one day, went to the doctor, and I thought it was one thing, and it was this. And I'm just like, wow. So I made it my mission going forward as a chef to not only provide healthy recipes, but also to let people understand that, your health is your wealth. Because no matter the amount of money that you have, or financial freedom, or however rich you get, if you're unhealthy, it's a costly expense for one thing. And it's something that can be changed to prevent it. I know they talk about it being in the DNA and, it's hereditary and things like that. But see, I've seen people overcome. I reversed type 2 diabetes, right? I had a small episode and reversed that too. And now it's like, you know what? All I got to do is pay attention to what I eat, exercise, and just be conscious of what it is going on. Somebody would have taught me that when I was in my, in my 20s, I probably wouldn't be dealing with this issue now, right? And so you got an opportunity to help people know that. And then the last part is a bonus 4-week group coaching session with myself and one other coach from the Extreme Execution team that's included with this bonus. Now, typically, I charge anywhere from $250 to $550 an hour. That's for the ingredients analysis. The full disc assessment is usually about 8 weeks long, so it costs a little close to $2,500. The 1-hour webinar is a $700 value, and the 4-week coaching session is the big boy. It's $4,759 because you get 2 coaches and you get one-on-one direct training, typically a little bit more than $8,000. So what we're going to give for you today, a chef special. It's going to be $4.99. That is the chef special that we have, that you're going to be able to get that. You're going to get one-on-one and group coaching training with myself, one of the coaches from the Extreme team over here, one of the exciting coaches, and we're just going to be able to take this to the next level. See, I'm going to put this link here in the chat and let you guys take a look at that and be able to do that. You can find me on social media on there. I got a lot of free content out there, but man, this is an incredible offer. I mean, who else is giving 95% discounts? I call it the post-pandemic special. I know everybody's coming out of everything, and what I normally charge, I was just like, you know what? I really want to give this, to my people and really help them to explode into their next level, and just a few questions to ask you, while you're on here, if all this did was give you communication you needed to succeed at your business, would it be worth it? If all it did was let you build confidence, find your purpose and potential, get a raise in your career, would it be worth it? If all it did was better your relationship with your friends and family and significant other, would it be worth it? And I'm here with you today, $4.99. The link is inside the chat. And let me pull back up my screen to tell you thank you. So let me ask you, will you invest in you? Do you want to achieve anything? Do you want to live a life of purpose? Did this masterclass bring any sort of value to you? If so, invest in you. That investment in you is the biggest and best thing that you can do, because you're only going to get better when you invest in you. I've learned a long time ago that personal development is the key to success in anything. You building on you. And with a 95% discount, man, we're going to get in here and we're going to take your businesses to the next level. We're going to take your relationships to the next level. And you're going to get the how-to, the meat and potatoes of building your incredible purpose and achieve anything in life. So with that being said, I'm going to leave that up in the chat for a few more minutes. I'm going to go back through the chat. I just want to end you guys with a few things here. Become the master chef of your life. You know, Bobby Flay is one of my favorite chefs because I actually want to beat Bobby Flay one day. He's ducking me. So if anybody knows Bobby Flay or has a connection, let him know that Chef Andre in Dallas, Texas is looking to beat him. So take risk and you'll get the payoffs. Learn from your mistakes until you succeed. That's what Bobby Flay says. So thank you for your time today. I appreciate you coming in. Follow us at B Game Coaching at BlastJ69. You know, my website is up, Andre, blastinggame.com, catering, anything that you need to do. And I will stay on briefly. Let me stop this screen share. I will stay on briefly to